Integrating fuel and EV power management with FuelForce EV. Fleet managers face several challenges when deploying electric vehicles. 1. Determining actual EV charging costs. Most fleet managers know the total fuel costs they face. EV charging costs, however, end up buried in an organization's utility bill. Power prices vary daily, with peak, partial peak, and off-peak tiers, and seasonal differences. 2. They are usually faced with using disparate systems for fuel and EV power management. While some EV charging manufacturers can provide charging data, managing the combined standard fueling and charging data often must be done through disparate systems with separate reporting approaches, system maintenance, and software training. 3. Long charging timeframes present a paradigm shift. A 20-gallon gas tank takes about 3 to 5 minutes to fill at the gas pump. A standard electric vehicle can take from 4 to 6 hours to charge using level 2 charging. Fleet managers and EV drivers need the ability to monitor the charging status and could benefit by the ability to reserve stations for the next round of charging. This is a completely new problem for fleet managers. To remedy these challenges, Multiforce introduced FuelForce EV in 2018, the first integrated EV power management solution in the industry. The FuelForce EV platform is made up of both hardware and software components to provide a robust fuel and energy management solution. The hardware centers around the controller, the FuelForce 814 EV. The controller provides verification and authentication to allow charging and to monitor and track the charging transaction. Managing electricity as a standard fuel. The FuelForce EV platform is built upon decades of experience in managing fleet fuels of all types, from the standard petroleum-based liquid fuels to alternative biofuels, CNG, LNG, hydrogen, and now electricity. Integrated fuel and power cost management. The ability to manage electricity as a standard fuel means that fleet managers have now at their fingertips the ability to manage all fleet vehicle types. The FuelForce 814 EV Advanced Power Controller provides a control point for electric vehicle fleets, eliminating unauthorized EV charging by validating each charging transaction and tying that data back to the vehicle, driver, and department. The 814 EV sits between a standard electrical panel and the EV chargers, and both controls and measures the power used to charge electric vehicle fleets. FuelServe.net pulls the 814 EV and other FuelForce controllers in its network and aggregates all the charging, as well as fueling data. The key here is the innovative ability to provide the data for EV charging alongside the fueling data for all other types of fuels. Total fuel costs can be calculated and assessed to sites, departments, or even drivers. Driver alerts. The 814 EV includes the ability to notify drivers or fleet managers with system alerts. A driver can enter their mobile phone number at time of authorization to receive charging status messages. The 814 EV will alert the EV driver when the process starts, ends, or is interrupted prior to completion. Charger reservation. When all the charging stations in the lot are in use, the unique FuelForce EV reservation feature can alert the driver when a specific charging station is available. The driver can return to initiate their own EV charging session. Fleet managers can additionally allow the EV driver to reserve more than one charging station at a time, taking advantage of parking lot topology. The driver receives a text when the next charger nearby is free. Your fleet charging and fueling operations are important. Trust our industry experts to help. To get started at integrating fleet fuel and EV power management today, call us at 609-683-4242. Please visit us online at www.fuelforce.com.